So I've been thinking, are we on the verge of seeing an actual revolution here? Is let them use meta going to be our version of let them eat cake? Instead of storming the Bastille, are we about to storm the MDC in New York and free Luigi? When all this goes dark tomorrow, is that the cue? Because historically, we're at the point where this type of thing happens. See, all empires in history tend to follow a cycle, and America, being an empire, is no different. There's typically a peak of greatness, then a slow decline, and then a collapse. And the conditions for a collapse are eerily similar for us right now as they were for other empires right before they went down. It's not that I'm suggesting any of this, of course, just asking questions. I've been seeing these posts pop up all over every social media network talking about how the income inequality and the power inequality right now in the United States is at the same level or greater than it was when the French Revolution started. I don't know how accurate this data is, but the important thing is a lot of people believe it's true. And right now, with billionaires paying millionaires to limit our freedom of speech, to increase that gap, to limit the flow of information, to prevent us from organizing, well, I'm just hearing the revolution sentiment a lot. And I think if something were to happen, that history would find that the biggest mistake that they made was taking away a right in a way that hit us universally, regardless of politics. It lifted the fog of war enough to see that we shouldn't be fighting each other, that we should be fighting them. I'm just saying, historically speaking, this is one of the few times I would not want to be part of the 1%, especially considering we're about to release a whole lot of people with experience storming capitals. And the thing is, if that sounds at all far-fetched, that's just something called a normalcy bias, which is this idea we have that nothing ever changes, that everything just turns out fine. But that's not necessarily true. I'm sure the French aristocrats thought the same thing. So from a historical perspective, at the very least, I'm very interested to see what happens next. Viva la revolution, y'all.